In LA this week.
Los Angeles is the first 5G city in the United States. But what this means to you as a consumer. I'm Rasha Goel, and that story's up next.
We're here at the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, where award-winning TV costumes are being used to educate students about the art of costume design. I'm Anita Bennett, and I'll have that story just ahead.
I'm Gil Reyes at a thank you luncheon organized by LA City Councilman David Rue for all the LA City agencies. That story is next.
Hey everyone, I'm Umayma Rashid. Here's what's happening on LA this week. The 2028 Olympics will be here before we know it. Preparations are already in the works. At a recent luncheon, Mayor Eric Garcetti said the city will be ready.
Olympiad 2028, Paris 24, Los Angeles 28.
This event was all about how Los Angeles can be a great global city. And I say that we already are. Los Angeles doesn't think of ourselves that way, but we're a top 5 city now in the world, #1 place for investment, 3rd largest economy of any city in the world. So we've got to start thinking that way, both in the opportunities and addressing the challenges that we have, whether it's poverty and homelessness or whether it's bringing the Olympics and record investment. That's my passion, and that's why this was a great forum to talk about how we can do not just one of those things, but both. I love the Olympics because it's an excuse to improve the city, because we know the world's going to be coming here in 9 years. But we need that relief now. So we have 28 projects by 2028 for public transportation improvements and new lines that can be open and done by the time we have the Olympics here. Bidding for the Olympics in this time when America's reputation in the world is in flux was very challenging. We had to convince people, as we were talking about building walls, that athletes would be able to come in, that we were welcoming. They saw Los Angeles in some ways as the best that America embodies. And I think part of the reason we won is it was the hopeful vision of America rather than the darker vision of America. And I think as long as we lead as LA and America from there are good days ahead.
It's the second time the World Mobile Congress was held in Los Angeles. Nearly 40,000 people gathered over the 3 days to talk tech, mobility, and connectivity. Rasha Goel has more on what this means to us as consumers.
With LA being the first 5G city in the United States, it's no surprise innovators from around the world have gathered to share information and exchange ideas at the World Mobile Congress recently held at the LA Convention Center. LA has had 5G for a year now, and if you didn't know, here's how it's making a difference in people's lives.
The way that 5G makes things different for the average consumer is by making things a lot faster and more connected. So the same way that when you see a 3G signal on your phone, you know it's going to be slow compared to the 4G signal you normally get, it's an order of magnitude different. It's 100 times faster to have 5G available.
The City of LA's booth, located in a section titled Innovation City, highlighted the advancements being made in the city.
Innovation City here at the Mobile World Congress is really about the idea that we want to learn how to have a better, more connected community.
One of the most recent innovations includes the first earthquake early warning application called Shake Alert LA, which provides notifications of earthquakes. 1 million people have already subscribed. So much to see, so much to explore, and so much to learn. But one of the booths that really caught my eye was this one right behind me, the Ericsson booth, where I learned about artificial intelligence and how it's truly being used to help solve everyday problems.
We use AI to increase first-time ride on dispatches, improve resolution time for our customers.
From using technology to purchase shoes at a pop-up to hands-on training in artificial intelligence, our world is truly becoming a place of technology and one that we need to be connected to.
5G City, LA becomes a place where people can incubate new businesses, try crazy new ideas and disruptive technologies, and really try to be a new innovation area on the West Coast.
The world is moving fast. The question is, are you ready?
LA will be hosting the third Mobile World Congress next year as well. A local nonprofit, A Place Called Home, is making popular entertainment and comic arts accessible to low-income families in underserved communities, thanks to its Comic Art and Literacy Expo.
So today we're celebrating our third annual Comic Art and Literacy Expo. So it's our way of having like a little mini Comic-Con for the community here. So we have a lot of guest panelists from different studios within the city. We also have a big literacy component as well, trying to motivate the community to read, to draw, to be part of such a huge industry now.
I'm here because my kids need to read more books, and they have projects where they have to read books and they like comics. We came last year too, and it was amazing. They loved it. That'll help them to be able to want to read.
I think comics is a wonderful form of art that should be shared by all, and Kale is a wonderful format in which to present it with. I'm encouraging others to do what I do, to show that that because I've made it, with my own, 2 fists and my own efforts, you can too. There's nothing stopping you.
More than 5,000 comic books were distributed. Here's a question. Do you have a story? We all do. And one group is encouraging folks to stand up and share their stories with others through live storytelling. We sat down with the founder of Strong Words.
Ponder this. 3 bodybuilders go into a gym, but it's not any ordinary gym. It's in Los Angeles, the entertainment capital of the world. And they all just happen to be writers. What happens next? Strong Words, of course. I'd like to introduce the founder of Strong Words, a live storytelling event, Larry Dean Harris.
Who wants to hear some stories?
If the pen is mightier than the sword, why don't you pen a story where your life takes off and soars?
And I think tonight, I will put on my new shoes and my new dress, and I'll drive over to Joe's Cafe where there's a dance floor.
I was a young girl. I was lonely, but I didn't know that until much later. It wasn't a journal, and it wasn't a diary. I was just talking on paper.
How the heck did you guys get together and decide to turn your idea into a live storytelling experience from meeting in a gym?
I think it all starts, as any storytelling does, with the desire to share. You are in for a treat. It's a smorgasbord of stories.
We are in the era of what is your story? It's you on stage and what you want to tell the audience. It's your time.
I didn't get to do me.
My father gave me his old Nicormat film camera.
My story was about my mother and her experiences during World War II.
I can't think of a safer place to get up and tell your story.
But we were young enough to believe that surely one of us knew what they were doing. I mean, after all, we were married, we were parents. What could go wrong?
It is a community. It didn't start that way, but it's grown to become one. You're now part of our community, and we're going to need your dues. So see me after the show.
If you're a small business trying to get off the ground, the City of LA can help through its partnership with Rebrand Cities, an organization that helps owners build their websites and create an online presence.
I'm currently a retail buyer and I know a lot about the brick and mortar retail space, but I'm here because I want to learn more about how to succeed in the digital space.
The City of Los Angeles is pleased to be participating with Rebrand Cities to launch Rebrand LA. We'll be helping over 300 local businesses rebrand themselves with new websites, social media, and a new way for people to find their businesses and engage with them.
This is really part of helping entrepreneurs all over the city of LA, and we're just delighted for everybody to participate.
So this is a perfect opportunity to grow your business in a new way, adopt the digital culture.
And for government to reimagine the relationship between small business and a municipal partner.
For more info on the services Rebrand Cities offers, visit rebrand.city. We're talking hospitality with a capital H. Last month's Filipino American History Month meant a celebration with lots of food, but this year in LA, it also meant new colors for City Hall. Anna Marcos explains.
The Filipino national anthem filled the air, and for the first time in LA's history, City Hall lit up with the colors of the Filipino flag, red, white, and blue, and yellow. But Filipino American History Month has been celebrated here every October for decades. And did you know the first Filipinos to ever become American patriots did so even before the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock?
We landed in Morro Bay in Northern California in 1587.
This is actually a costume from Mindanao, which is the southern part of the Philippines, and designed it myself.
Filipino Americans help run many parts of LA city government. Many are also in healthcare and in service industries. Others want more.
Filipinos are least represented, but we're still trying to make a push in the entertainment industry. So in order to do that, we got to create our stories. We got to share them and support each other.
They have been recognized for years as the nicest, sweetest, most helpful people you can find by all kinds of individuals, and my personal experience has been incredible, including with a member of my staff, Elaine De Leon, who's my executive assistant, helps to run the office.
First word that comes to mind is hospitable. It comes from the heart for making sure that you feel welcome at home.
Paella, yes. Very spicy seafood paella. Fantastic.
Paella at a Filipino fest? You bet. It's all due to the Spanish influence in the Philippines, but this one has a very Filipino twist. Hard-boiled eggs.
With Filipino food, you'll find every piece of your own culture. We're a big melting pot in Asia, and you'll see many different influences.
Was it me, or did this Filipino traditional dance seem to have a little Spanish and even Mexican flavor, along with something else? Take the jeepney. The popular vehicle in the Philippines was made from U.S. military jeeps left over from World War II, and these Angelinos took turns hanging on for the ride, all while they were bathed in the current City Hall lights of red, white, and blue, and yellow.
We were told there was also some Filipino-made vodka at the party and other Filipino-made products. In Tujunga, another cultural celebration, this one recognized the contributions of the Armenian American community with plenty of music, dance, and a very special honor.
I am so proud to be here with all of you this afternoon on the 4th annual Armenian Cultural Festival here in Tujunga. Here in Tujunga, and we had a special commemoration in the dedication of William Soroyan Square here at the intersection of Belmont and Commerce.
Today is a day about celebrating the Armenian heritage, about their culture, and about just the inclusiveness.
I think for our community to have this, we are blessed, and it just, I think it adds awareness.
For us to be a part of a community that has wrapped its arms around all groups, immigrants, native, people that are here, just to be positive contributors to the community.
You know, we have the most beautiful city because of our diversity, and celebrating the contributions of the Armenian community here in Tujunga, I think is emblematic of that.
The city cracks down on illegal dumping, a special commemoration at City Hall, and prepare for fires and emergencies with NotifyLA.com. All this in City Beat.
Councilmembers Bob Blumenfield and Paul Koretz joined local leaders to pay tribute to the 11 victims of the Tree of Life synagogue shooting that occurred October 27, 2018 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with a commemoration at City Council.
This tragic commemoration serves as a reminder that each of us has the duty to stand up to hatred in our communities. To let it go unchecked is akin to passive approval, and we must never let that happen.
Illegal dumping has been an ongoing issue in Los Angeles. Mayor Eric Garcetti recently announced that the city is cracking down with stronger enforcement and stricter penalties for those who dump trash and other items illegally.
Since I've been a council member, I've dealt with the scourge of illegal dumping in neighborhoods where people think they can come into neighborhoods, buy businesses, dump illegally the goods that they have, and leave, waiting for somebody else to pay for the cleanup, waiting for somebody else to take it on as their problem.
Wildfires can erupt anytime. Make sure you and your family are prepared with the latest emergency and evacuation information. Subscribe to receive alerts on your phone for your neighborhood, schools, businesses, media, and other interest areas by downloading notifyla.com.
Councilman David Rue gives a big thank you to LA City's various departments. Gil Reyes takes us to the annual Council District 4 Employee Appreciation Luncheon.
A celebration in Griffith Park honors those LA Civic employees who help keep the city rolling. There's free food, music, and yes, raffle prizes for workers like Ed Santa Cruz from the city's Information Technology Agency.
I'm going to Maro's Peruvian, baby. 50 bucks.
I won a $180 gift certificate to Serenity Hair Salon.
All right. Is that going to be put to good use?
I hope so.
This thank you luncheon hosted by LA City Councilman David Rue, whose district stretches from Sherman Oaks through Griffith Park to Miracle Mile.
Every potential issue that could happen in a city happens in my areas. So I am really grateful to every single department and that works above and beyond, and in many cases, understaffed.
Take the city's General Services Department.
I work payment services. We pay all the bills for the city of LA.
And you work hard, right?
Oh, very hard.
Tell us about a typical day so that people know about General Services.
A typical day is processing probably over 100 invoices a day.
Wow.
Yes.
We do work very hard, but it's nice to get thanked.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for everything that you do, day in and day out, overtime, before work, because this is how we make our city great.
Prizes were donated by restaurants and other businesses throughout Councilmember Rue's 4th Council District, and local band the Hollywood Deltones supplied the live entertainment. Wisdom LA put on a visually stunning treat for the eyes as visitors made their way through an immersive art experience surrounded by vivid, colorful recreations of Dia de Muertos.
This is what we feel during the Festival of Life.
What we're seeing today is an immersive art installation that brings to life Day of the Dead in a new way. So we're taking the best of what the holiday is and reinterpreting it in a very artistic and very cool way. We have 4 domes, and in each dome we actually have different elements of the Day of the Dead holiday.
We have some amazing cocktails, which I absolutely love. The artwork is really dope. There's a blend of like fire and lights and water. It's kind of like a sound bath, so every room that you walk in is a completely different experience, and just a great way to celebrate the holiday.
Get a taste of what Dia de Muertos signifies for us, for Latinos, and especially for Mexicans.
For other exhibits or events taking place at Wisdom, visit wisdom.la. Grilled oysters, fried chicken, music, friends, and community. What else can you ask for? That's what the Taste of Soul was all about as thousands came out for a real neighborhood block party.
Taste of Soul, the biggest, best party in Los Angeles. Every year, 350,000 people, nearly 1 out of 10 Angelenos come right here to the heart of LA to celebrate food, music, culture.
I'm enjoying today. This is a great opportunity for Los Angeles to come together, enjoy a taste of soul, really enjoy a sense of community, a sense of the culture, the food that is part of what makes LA great.
Everybody has gotten the message that it's a real good event to spend your Saturdays. The best attraction here is food.
Right. It makes me feel great to see everybody come together and just have a great time.
I love you, Mama.
Everything out here is amazing. Make sure you come out next year because you're definitely missing out.
Each year, the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising teams up with the Hollywood studios to showcase the clothes that make the shows. Anita Bennett takes us inside the school's 13th annual TV Design Costume Exhibit.
I know this. I know this because I've seen it.
They're the costumes you see on Game of Thrones and other popular TV shows. Now you can see them up close at the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising in downtown LA.
This is the 13th annual Outstanding Art of Television Costume Design exhibition. Here we feature over 100 costumes from 23 featured shows, really featuring the Emmy-winning costumes, as well as a lot of nominees.
Among this year's Emmy winners are the costumes from Amazon's The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and HBO's Game of Thrones.
We have people in the museum that work the entire year keeping an eye on all the buzz of the costumes and the costume design in TV shows. So obviously when it's a show like Game of Thrones, naturally we want them to be here. When it's something like The Masked Singer, we want those to be here because they're so grand. And also, the costume designer for Masked Singer, she's an alumni of FIDM.
You'll also find costumes from hit shows like ABC's Blackish.
A lot of work goes into making these costumes for TV. Sometimes it looks so easy, and that, a lot of people say, if you don't notice the costumes in a TV show or even a movie, then the costume designer has done their job.
Also on display, sketches, illustrations, and notes from the designers.
We have some gorgeous sketches and digital renderings, mood boards here. We like to do that as give an extension of what goes into the work of creating the costume designs, and that there's so many artists that are part of that creation. A fun fact that a lot of people don't know is that the studios own the costumes. A lot of people think it's the costume designers that own the costumes, but no, the studios own the costumes. So we get the costumes from the studios temporarily. They give it to us temporarily, and then we give it back to them, or they come and pick them up when the exhibition is wrapped up.
While the exhibit is free and open to the public, there's also an educational component to help students learn about the art of costume design.
It's such a wonderful blessing to have this exhibition right here at the college for our students to come here. We see every day instructors bring their students, their classes here to sketch the costumes, to learn a little bit about the costumes. We also want to educate the public and let them know the diversity in costume design.
The exhibit runs through October 26th.
Once the TV exhibition closes, the Fashion Institute will start organizing its motion picture exhibit of movie costumes. This may be an animal population that's shrinking, but it now has an extra member. We're talking about the Maasai giraffe, the tallest species in the animal kingdom. We visit the LA Zoo to greet the cute little newcomer.
The giraffe herd at the LA Zoo just got a little bigger. And a baby giraffe is exactly what the public is getting. The newborn Maasai giraffe came out of the gate for its media and public debut. This, its first full day outside for all visitors to see, as she bonded with the rest of the herd. For now, call her Baby. She doesn't have a name yet.
When the baby's born, they average about 6 feet tall and 150 pounds. This particular one was 138 and about 6.5 feet, so she was quite tall.
She might just get as tall as her father, who is 17 feet tall. Meanwhile, she spends her time discovering, sniffing, and tasting the world around her.
They have an 18-inch long tongue, which helps them kind of pluck leaves off of trees. The dark pigmentation of their tongue helps prevent their tongue from getting sunburned, since they spend all day in the hot African savanna sun plucking leaves off of trees.
As if this little tyke wasn't already special enough in herself, and she's right there with all the grown-ups, she's also special for a different reason. She was born as part of a species survival plan program, and earlier this year, giraffes were labeled as endangered.
I can imagine a world without giraffes. I mean, they're just a magnificent species that unfortunately is suffering what's been referred to as a silent extinction, because a lot of people don't realize that their populations are declining.
Animal advocates say the best way to help the giraffes is to contribute to groups working to save them, such as the Giraffe Conservation Foundation. It could mean seeing a lot more babies like this one, a baby that is learning fast, and she seems more than ready for her first close-up.
To find out more about the Giraffe Conservation Foundation, visit giraffeconservation.org. Check out some cool artwork at an open studio, get your Java fix at a coffee festival, and if you have a thing for sneakers, you definitely won't want to miss this pop-up. All this and things to do.
Fall is here, and the artists at the Keystone Art Space are getting ready for their seasonal open studio. Keystone Art Space has over 50 artist studios featuring painting, illustration, printmaking, photography, sculpture, and more. The event is free and open to the public, so check out the Keystone Art Space Open Studio Saturday, November 9th, beginning at 6 p.m. For details, email keystoneartspace@gmail.com. The Los Angeles Coffee Festival is a champion of culture. Get set to enjoy endless complimentary coffee tastings, interactive workshops, and demonstrations from world-class baristas. Plus, delicious street food, coffee, cocktails, live music, and more. The Los Angeles Coffee Festival lands on November 8th at the Magic Box at the Reef. For more, visit la-coffeefestival.com/tickets. Come experience Sneakertopia. This massive sneaker and street art exhibit will transport you through a series of immersive, mind-blowing galleries celebrating the art and culture of sneakers. A story of creativity, expression, and innovation. Get close to dozens of the most famous sneakers ever released. This exhibit is one part pop art gallery, one part insanely huge sneaker closet. Don't miss Sneakertopia LA, happening throughout November at the Promenade at Howard Hughes. For ticket information, visit sneakertopia.com. And that's a look at some things to do.
That's it for this edition. I'm Umaima Rashid. From all of us here at LA This Week, thank you for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.